Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Wandering Wild. I'm here with my friend Natalie.
Hi.
We have been road tripping together for like 2 weeks now. It was kind of an last minute unplanned thing, but it's been so much fun. Natalie has been solo road tripping through Australia, and I think that's just amazing. Why did you decide to travel this way as opposed to, I don't know, taking the bus?
Yeah, I think I just wanted like the flexibility and the freedom to do kind of what I wanted whenever I wanted and also how I wanted and drive the less trodden path,
Hmm.
I think. And it has given me the opportunity to do that, absolutely. And do it at my own pace. You know, if there's a place that I want to stay a bit longer, I'm not kind of tied to flights or long bus journeys. And I've managed to kind of stay at some spots that perhaps a lot of travelers wouldn't whilst doing it this way. So yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah, that's so cool. I feel like doing this with you too, I've realized that, like, I don't really like driving, so I never really considered road tripping, honestly. But it is cool how much flexibility it gives you. And we've stopped off at so many random places. Like, our trip took us way longer than we expected. But it's nice to be able to have the flexibility to do that and, yeah, see things that you maybe wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, and we've also been able to like change our plans because of the weather,
Mhm.
which I think helps as well because I'm in Australia for sunshine. So we've been able to avoid the rain.
Yeah, no, that's been so good. And I think it worked out good with each of us being willing to be flexible because I feel like if we ended up with each other and one of us was like, no, this is the plan, this is what we're doing, it would have been really hard.
Yeah, absolutely. We've both kind of like come up with ideas and just gone with how we feel in the moment, which has been so much fun.
And did you have a specific moment of coming to Australia where you were like, I mean, I guess before you came to Australia, where you were like, I doing this, it's gonna be amazing? Because I mean, I know you now, so I know like you're fairly adventurous, but I feel like making the decision to come so far and then also making the decision to road trip solo, I feel like that's a big decision. Maybe it didn't feel like a big decision for you, but I'm curious, what was like the push to do that? Did you have a specific moment?
Yeah, I don't think it was a specific moment. I take each day as it comes and each step as it comes. And I arrived in Australia and was able to stay with one of my best friends who I hadn't seen for like nearly a year, which was so amazing. And then went to stay with family for a bit and then kind of took it step by step. And I think I realised then that I wanted to travel and I wanted to see as much of Australia as I could. And I just felt like this was a pretty cool way to do it. And with like buying the car, I feel like I've kind of got, although it's not really a base because I'm moving around, I feel like I've kind of got something over here,
Mm-hmm.
which I think has helped me. And like, even when I set off on my road trip, I had no idea how far I would get, where I would go, because I had my family and friends to go back to if I wasn't enjoying it. I think that really helped me to be like, let's just go for it and see what happens. And I've had my ups and downs. There's been times where I've been driving around on my own and I haven't met or seen like any of the people for a while, and that's been quite lonely and quite difficult. I think that's just part of it. And I've learned a lot about myself in the time that I've been road tripping. So yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think it's been cool for me to see because when I was younger, I wanted to do van life. That was like my thing. And I like looked into all these like different builds or ways you can build out your car. And, um, I think it's so cool. You're in your car and you seem to have everything you need apart from a shower, but you have your stove and a little, like with your cutting board, a countertop. Yeah, it's really cool. Do you feel like it was like you expected it to be? Or in what ways was it different?
Yeah, mostly. I think I wanted to have some like home comfort. So I didn't want, like, I wanted to make the car feel nice. So I'd enjoy sleeping in it and camping in it rather than like worrying about it, because obviously there's enough to kind of worry about and plan as you're going along. So I just wanted to prepare in the best way and make my life as easy as possible whilst I was on the road. I think there were some points where I perhaps could have over prepared and spent more money on things that I perhaps didn't need, because I was worrying about, I think just the unknown of like, how far am I going to travel? Am I going to run out of petrol? Am I going to run out of food? Are there going to be no stores? But because I've been driving up the East Coast and kind of inland a little bit, but not massively, it's so easy to kind of get around. There are stores everywhere. A quick Google search will tell you what you need to do kind of like on the way. I think there are some things that could have made it easier, like if I'd have had a battery for the fridge rather than using
The
bags of ice.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether the cost outweighed the necessity for that, really.
What does like a typical day look like for you? Well, I guess I know now that I've been spending with you. Maybe that's a silly question because each day has been different.
Yeah.
But before we were together, did you have any sort of routine in your car?
Just kind of like my hours, I guess, would be around the same. I would try and get up early. I was usually up with kind of sunrise or a little bit afterwards, just because when you're in the car, the heat and the sun is obviously beaming through. So I would usually get up, maybe have some breakfast, sit and chill for a bit, depending on where I'd camped. If I'd camped in sort of like places that were in towns or whatever, I'd usually just get in the car straight away and go for a coffee, and then plan my day really, see where I wanted to go, see stops along the way. I kind of mostly, apart from some of the bigger towns, I mostly just stayed in one place for one night and then I would move on the next day. So I'd plan my journey, I'd think about what I wanted to see and where I wanted to stop, and then go from there, really.
What's the coolest thing you've been able to see?
Oh, it's so hard. I think just like nature in general. Like I've seen so many animals that I never thought I would be able to see, and like some things that I didn't even know existed until I came here, which is just really cool. And I've had the time to be able to just sit and watch them, whereas usually in your everyday life you would be passing through, you wouldn't kind of notice those things. Some amazing like ocean viewpoints. The Great Ocean Road was just so beautiful. I loved that. Those rock pools that we went to in above Rainbow Falls, they were so beautiful.
Really nice.
And really kind of like unique rock formations that I hadn't really seen anywhere before.
Yeah.
And the water was so fresh and so clear.
So good. That whole day was just so beautiful.
Yeah, it really was. I just like as well how like every day that you're moving, things change. Like it could be, I don't know, something as subtle as like the types of trees that you're driving around, like they're different, or the landscape could be really flat one minute and then really mountainous, or like up into the rainforest.
Yeah, it changes so much.
Yeah. I feel like when I got up north, I just kept seeing palm trees everywhere, and I was like, wow, like I haven't seen a palm tree in so long.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just feels like so different everywhere that you go.
Yeah. I think I said one time to you and Eleanor, of course I know the earth is beautiful. Like I've experienced enough to just know that. But still, every single day, I feel like I'm so surprised. Like like the beach we went to today, I'm just absolutely in awe. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, how does this exist?
Yeah.
It never ceases to surprise me, and it's always just so beautiful.
Yeah.
There's so much to see. Let's talk about the reality of sleeping in your car. With me and without me, because
I know if people want to hear the reality of sleeping in your car.
when we started traveling, I bought a tent because we didn't know each other. Like we had met 2 days before we started the road trip, and we only met one time for like an hour. And so I was like, kind of like, where am I going to sleep? Because she was talking about pulling off and camping. And so I ended up buying a tent. And the first night it just poured rain. and I kind of just toughed it out. So I just stayed at my tent, woke up.
Can I just say though, I did say to you,
She did.
if it starts raining and you're getting wet, just come in the car. It's not a problem whatsoever.
Yeah, she did offer, and but I honestly was like, I was so excited to use my tent, and I was just like, even in the rain, I woke up and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Until I woke up in the morning. The biggest thing for me was that my journal got wet, and that was
Oh yeah,
the
the
only
drying out
part
of
that
the
I was
journal.
actually, yeah, it is dry now. It's just a little wrinkly. But I ended up, after that, I think I slept in my tent one other time, and then we've just been sleeping in the car together.
It's just been fun.
Yeah,
We have two modes.
yeah. We have our day mode and our night mode.
Yeah. And I think it makes no difference to me really. I still have my comfortable space in the back with my mattress and everything I need, but I think you've been an absolute trooper just sleeping in the front seat for
But it really hasn't been that bad. Like, I've always loved sleeping in cars. Like, sometimes it's so hard for me to stay awake when we're driving because I mean, this is my bed. I sleep right here. So I just put this seat down. I have a blanket and I have a little pillow that don't really use, honestly. I kind of just
No, I've noticed that. It usually just sits in the middle, doesn't it?
I usually just like hug it. It's my comfort item. And then Natalie sleeps back there in her bed.
My full bed.
Yeah. It works out pretty good, actually.
It does.
But
And it's nice to have someone like in the morning. I'm like, hi, how did you sleep?
Yeah, it is kind of nice. I guess your bed goes up and down every night.
Yeah.
So you always have like a nice clean space, I guess, to put it in. It's not like you have stuff stacked on your bed. But does it get annoying having to set it up and take it down every night?
Yeah, it can be sometimes. It just depends. Like beach days, there's just sand everywhere all the time. And then I feel like my bed's just always sandy, which is really annoying. But mostly it's fine. You know, when you think that it is free and I'm able to stay in some really beautiful spots, like I can't even imagine until you're there and you're waking up and you've just got the ocean right in front of you.
Yes, it's actually crazy.
It makes up. I was actually thinking about this earlier when we were on the beach. Like, yeah, it's annoying having to shower in public showers, and yes, it's annoying having sand everywhere. And like in an ideal world, I wouldn't have those things, but it is so worth it for all the adventures that we're able to go on and like the beautiful things that we're able to see.
Yeah.
That it's what it is. And it's part of the adventure. It's people can't imagine until they've kind of done it or experienced something similar. I couldn't have imagined anyway.
Yeah, I actually quite like it. Like, I don't think maybe there's been a few times the shower situation. I wish we could just, when it's raining specifically,
Yeah.
I wish we could just take a hot shower and climb into bed and still be clean, you know?
Yeah.
But not very often have I been like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually quite nice. And like you said, we save so much money. Like, it's expensive to sleep in Australia.
Yeah.
And we save so much money. We sleep for free. And then we step out our bedroom door, and we're on the beach.
Yeah.
Or we're in a national park or wherever.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. It's its own type of luxury.
Yeah, definitely. Could you see yourself doing this long term?
I don't know. I've been on the road for like 2 months, so that I feel like that is kind of long term. By the time I get back, I'll have done like 10.5 weeks, maybe, just road tripping in the car. I think I could have gone on for longer. Because I'm going kind of like back on myself now, that just feels like a bit of a strange route. And I think I'm kind of ready for a bit of a change. But honestly, the time just goes so fast when you just keep moving and keep going on. So, yeah, I think I would still like to have a base, but I could definitely do sort of a few months trips again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Do you ever feel scared. Like, I think one of the biggest things, at least for me, when I've considered doing van life in the past, was always safety, just being a woman and, yeah, I don't know, stopping off in random places or.
Yeah, on my first night, I was terrified. I was really scared, and like I didn't want people to be able to see in at all. So I had like literally every window was covered. There was no way that anybody could kind of see in the car. I had like curtains up, and like I've definitely got a lot more relaxed as I've gone on the road, because I've met some really great people that have been fine and made me feel super comfortable. But there is always kind of like that fear in the pit of your stomach when you're driving to a campsite and you're thinking, is this a good idea for me to be here as a woman
Right.
on my own? But yeah, mostly it's been fine. There was one campsite that I pulled up to in Brisbane, which had kind of like a lot of people that seemed to be camping there kind of long term, and I felt quite uncomfortable there. But I was able to get a few hours sleep, and then I knew I was leaving early the next morning and moving on. So it was fine. And I think that's why now I kind of try and arrive at a campsite, especially when I'm on my own. I try and make sure that I know where I'm sleeping before it gets dark. And then at least I kind of know the area better. But it can be difficult when you pull up to a campsite or a sleeping spot and it's pitch black and you don't know what's around, and there's
Right.
maybe only one other person
Right.
that's at the spot. And there was, because there's another one that I pulled up to, and it was only me and one other guy, and it turned out he was lovely and it was fine, and I actually felt safer and more comfortable after having spoke to him than I would have done if I was on my own. But there was also crocodile warning signs all around, so let's just say I didn't have the best sleep that night.
Yeah, but
I was more scared of crocs than
I don't think
people.
crocodiles can open car doors.
No, I know, but I had my window open, so it was
Okay.
hot, and I
So you could have
been
crawled through your window.
of a croc coming through the window.
That's so funny. Yeah, I get so scared of crocs too. Like, not very much. Even the spiders, like,
That one I
fine.
saw in the
Yeah.
bathroom, that was like
It was
this big.
huge, huge. But to be fair, that's the only big spider I've seen.
Yeah.
And I think people seem to think that Australia is just like covered with spiders and snakes and everything scary.
It's not bad.
It's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
You see more like cute, fluffy things than
Yeah, you do. You do. We've seen so much. What has been your favorite campsite? Mine, I'll tell you, I know this might be kind of strange, but I think the one in Dingo was my thing.
Oh, that sunset was beautiful.
It was amazing.
And it just felt like outback Australia.
Yes, like it just felt, I don't know, it felt very unique.
Yeah.
And that's where we started to learn to line dance.
Yeah. It was,
But
yeah,
it was really
a
cool.
good one.
It was
that.
behind a petrol station, just in this big circle of like dust, just like orange sand. And there's just this one big tree in the middle, and yeah, the most incredible sunset, and we were just like dancing in the dirt and listening to country music, and
Yeah.
it felt really nice. It felt really cool. What was your favorite?
There was another one that I stayed at in Port Stephens, and I wasn't really sure. This is around the time where I hadn't really met many people that were traveling in their cars or vans or whatever, and I was kind of really nervous, didn't really know where to stay. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to stay around there. So I ended up just walking up to a couple on the beach and asking them, are you guys parked here? Because I saw some vans that were parked right next to the beach, and it was such a beautiful spot. And they were, and there was room for me. So I pulled my car up, and I had some like really good, nice chats with this couple. And as we were talking, there was like dolphins in the bay that we could just see from outside the car, and it was just beautiful. Yeah. And then had a really kind of good sleep, and then about 4-minute drive, maybe a 5-minute drive, was a beautiful lookout point. So went there for sunrise, and it was just incredible. That was a really
sounds magical.
Yeah, that was a really good moment for me after like a hard few days.
Well, I think sometimes some of the best moments come after some of your hardest days.
Yeah.
How do you find slash pick places to stay?
There's things that I use online. So like Park for Night, Campermate, things like that, where I'll just have a look. Sometimes I just type rest areas into Google Maps and see
Mm.
what's about there. Yeah, I'll just kind of wing it really. I've there's a few towns and I'm like, right, I just want to stay in this town. I don't know if there's going to be any campsites, and then I'll kind of drive around, and because I'm in the car, maybe I can be a bit more inconspicuous. Well, when it's just me, not when it's you smiling out the passenger window.
Yeah.
Everybody. But that's made it a little bit easier for me to find kind of campsites.
What has it been like for you? I won't be offended. Suddenly going from a solo space to sharing this tiny space with me.
I've actually loved it. It has been really good.
Because I have too.
I think, yeah, it's been so much fun. Our first impressions of each other, I think, make me laugh the most because I don't think either of us expected it to go as well or be as easy as it has been.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we kind of were able to give each other the space that we need, even though we're in such close proximity to each other, is how I feel. So yeah, it's been lovely and it's been so much fun.
Yeah, it's been good. It feels really easy too because I feel like we have great conversations. We have really like light, silly, fun conversations.
Yeah.
We have deep conversations, and we also don't have to talk at all, which I feel like is a huge thing because if we felt like we constantly like had to keep talking, like, some people you feel like you have to fill the silence away.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way with you, and I feel like if I did, it would get really exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely. I've accidentally come into the emergency zone.
I was wondering where we are. I was like, are we at the ER right now?
I took a wrong turning. I was so confused. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm about to ambulance bay.
I was like, well, maybe the grocery store's attached to the ER. Oh, wait, because we're back to the apartment building. Should we find a grocery store?
Yeah, we're only 800 meters away, so you probably should.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody. What were we saying? Oh, yeah, it's been good hanging out with you. I've liked you. Okay, we're back. We're in a park now. I feel like this is better because before you're like trying to drive and talk at the same time.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult. It was fine, but I'm surprised I didn't go wrong more than I did, to be honest.
No, it went good. So before you were talking about, you were saying that you feel like you've changed a lot through this. In what ways do you feel like?
I think I've just done things that I perhaps wouldn't have expected myself to. Like I've been out my comfort zone and kind of meeting new people and talking to people, like random people on the street, but that's kind of how you make friends when you're traveling and you're road tripping.
Right.
I think as well, just being kinder to myself and letting myself kind of go through the feelings. I think there's a huge thing when you're traveling that it's so amazing and you're living these amazing experiences. So you should be really positive and really happy all the time. But that just isn't, you're not then listening to your body. Like that isn't normal for humans to just be happy all the time and positive all the time. You're going to have bad days and the things that you perhaps worry about or feel anxious about, or I think they just feel different. And then I felt whilst I was traveling that I felt guilty for maybe having bad days. But I've slowly just started to accept that that's a normal part of traveling and allow myself to have those days, which is good. I'm not beating myself up.
Yeah.
That's positive, I would say.
That is good. Yeah, because I feel like sometimes this life is seen as kind of an escape from like real life.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it's an amazing life, but every life has its challenges and its ups and its downs. So our lives aren't without challenges. They're just just a whole new set of them.
Absolutely.
And not even completely a whole new set. I mean, a lot of the things I struggled back at home, I still struggle with now.
Yeah. And I think it's that when you're traveling as well, it's that feeling of kind of being on all the time. That's something that I've kind of like felt a lot of the time, that I've always got to be kind of like positive or, like available for people to contact, and I would feel guilty if I wasn't. And that's kind of even more so when you're traveling, especially in hostels and things, because you don't want to kind of like be seen as antisocial or rude or boring. But obviously road tripping, I've been able to kind of have my own time and my own space, which helps me kind of like reset to then feel more sociable when I get to a town or get to a campsite or
Yeah. How do you mostly meet people? Is it when you're staying in hostels?
yeah, it's a mix really. I think trips are a really good way to meet people. I met quite a few friends on the Whitsundays tour, and I made friends on Fraser Island that I was then able to kind of catch up with along the way. Yeah, hostels are also a good way to meet people. I made a few friends there and then was able to stay with them again, do little day trips in the car and stuff, which was lovely. But I think it's really a mix, and it's about, you kind of have to want to make friends to make friends.
Right.
You have to put yourself out there, which can be daunting and can be difficult at times, but mostly it's worth it.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes too, if you're just at least open to making friends, it's easier, because I feel like I could be in a hostel and sitting in the same room, but I'm like sitting in the corner on my phone, you know? Or I'm like not on my phone, I'm up looking around, and that's when more people are gonna approach you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so just being open to it. So I feel like sometimes it's hard. Like sometimes, most of the time, I feel like I don't want to make new friends. Like I feel like I don't want to be social, I don't want to talk to strangers. But if I don't, then I just feel like lonely and sad. And when I do, I feel really good and happy. But I feel like it's something I never quite, like, I know that about myself. I know that I need the social part of things. But in the moment, I feel like I never actually want to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel the same, so I don't know if anyone ever really
Yeah.
kind of wants to do that, because it is a really unfamiliar thing, and probably like something that we have never experienced as adults.
Right.
It's only something that you do when you're children, really, because apart from when I've traveled, I can't think of any other time where I would just kind of walk up to somebody randomly and try and make friends with them. It feels like a really strange concept when you're not traveling. But like you said, I do think it's really important. And like some of the people that I've met along the way, been amazing, and they've really made my journey and helped shape it. And even when times have been a bit more difficult with friendships, or you've been struggling, I think it's helped me to learn a lot about myself and who I am in those friendships or relationships.
Right. Do you ever feel lonely?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say I do.
How do you cope with it?
I think just knowing that I'm doing what I want to do and what I've always wanted to do. And I think it's not necessarily a loneliness, because I have so many great people in my life. I think it's almost like that, it's the loneliness of missing those people being with you.
Yeah.
Like, I have so many friends that I know would just love these experiences. And I feel sad that I'm not able to share it with them or with people that appreciate it too
Right.
at times. But then at other times, I just feel really grateful that I'm able to do it, and that I'm here and I'm doing it.
Yeah, because it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Not even just, I mean, this experience in general is amazing, but also the ability to do what you want to do is also amazing.
Yeah. I feel so fortunate to have that freedom.
I don't know about you, but I feel like, I mean, of course, I still get lonely, but I think I get lonely less, because since solo traveling, I've learned to enjoy my own company
Yeah.
more so than before. Like, I don't know, like I've gotten to know myself really well and genuinely enjoy hanging out with myself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think something that I've learned is, maybe in the past I would be just keen to hang out with anybody, and it didn't really matter whether they kind of like brought anything to the situation. It would just be better to be with people than to be on my own. And actually now I'm very careful about choosing my people that I do spend my time with. And a lot of the time I would rather be on my own than be with the wrong people, be with people that don't make me feel great about myself, or maybe, you know, we just don't align. So there's been times where I've maybe started off a day spending time with people, and then I've been like, actually, I don't want to do what they're doing, so I'm comfortable to then go off and do my own thing, as opposed to just going along with it, so I'm not on my own, which I think is a really powerful thing to do.
Yeah.
To kind of go against the kind of crowd and what everyone else wants to do, to be like, actually, no, that's not for me. And one of my friends told me that I would do stuff like that, and I was really like, no, I won't. I'll just go with what everyone else is doing, because I'm so flexible and I'm easy, and I'll just, I'm happy to do whatever.
Yeah.
But actually it feels very good to have been able to do that. It's really empowering.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like it's helped me also realize that I do have an opinion, because, I mean, there's a lot of situations where I actually don't care about things, but when you're on your own, you have to make the decisions.
Yeah.
And it's kind of helped me realize that a lot of times I do have an opinion. I just feel like I don't. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I'll be like, I don't care, I don't mind, which a lot of times is true, but a lot of times now I realize I actually kind of do have a preference, or I actually kind of do mind.
Yeah.
And it's really helpful to be able to realize that, like, recognize what you do want.
Yeah.
And then also to be able to do what you want. And I think also to be able to kind of balance, like, when you do want something, when it's important that you go against the crowd and you do it, and when it's not. Like, if I was with a huge group of people and everyone wants to eat here, but I want to eat here, I'm not going to be like, in that situation, I'm like, okay, I think I want to prioritize spending time with a group of people rather than eating the food that I really want to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that's the thing. And you said it to me today when we were on the beach and we were both just walking around the beach, like, where should we sit? Where should we sit? And you just asked me, do you have a preference? And it made me think about it in a different way, because perhaps there was something that I would prefer slightly more, but actually it didn't really matter. I didn't really mind. But yeah, I think it's easier to make decisions now, because I have to do it so often, that I'm just like, yeah, this is kind of what I want to do and what I'm thinking, but then I still have the flexibility to kind of get ideas from others. I have found that from going from solo traveling to traveling with others, is that you need to have that flexibility of not being like, this is what I'm doing, this is how it works. But sometimes it does work like that, and to say, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to do it. If you want to join. If you don't.
Yeah.
So those things that you really want to do, I don't want to have any regrets. This is my travel experience. I don't want to miss out on things because I've kind of followed other people and done what they want to do.
Right. Yeah, it's a good skill to have. I appreciate people who get it. Like, I like hanging out with you because you get that. Trying to think, I had a friend in Thailand who was so good at that. Like, every time she'd be like, oh, come do this with me, and I would be like, like, I actually feel like I need alone time. And I was always kind of expecting pushback, like, oh, are you sure? Like, I really want you to, and they always like, oh yeah, that's cool, just let me know if you change your mind. I love spending time with you. And I'm like, oh, I love people who get that, because we should be able to do what we want without offending other people, as long as it's not hurting anybody. But it is like our life and our experience, and I think that we should be our number one priority.
Yeah, absolutely.
I talked about this in one of my episodes already, but I feel like I have different phases of my life. And they each have like a theme or like a lesson that I like learned during that time. Do you feel like this phase of your life has had like a theme or a specific lesson?
Yeah. I like that little thing. I haven't really thought about it like that before. I think maybe it is like the decision making for me, and being on my own, doing something different, like out of the ordinary, and doing things that scare me. I've done a lot of that with my traveling, and I've been lucky enough to travel with friends throughout Asia, but traveling solo is completely different. I've had to kind of like work through a lot myself. So like my bad moods, I haven't had anyone to talk to about it. Or I have, that's not true, because I've got friends and family at home that I could reach out to. But, I've kind of got through things on my own and found ways to kind of cope with those hard days, and then really enjoyed celebrating the really positive things on my own too. And yeah, just like relying on myself, getting to know myself, and kind of figuring out what I want moving forward. I think it's really helped me with that as well, like the things that are really important to me.
Yeah. Sounds like it could be the phase of meeting Natalie.
I don't know. That sounds a bit scary.
Well, it's cool. It sounds like you've been having a really good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
I really have. And it feels like I'm moving on to like the next phase now, which
Yeah.
is exciting.
I feel that way too. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's to come, but flying out to Sydney tomorrow and yeah,
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out. Yeah, it'll be good. Do you think that solo travel has changed the way you relate to other people?
Yeah, I think kind of similarly to how I said before, like I don't just want to be with people for the sake of being with people, want to make sure that I'm with the right people. So I'm perhaps more open to get to know people, but then a little bit more careful then about how much I let them into my life. Because I think when you're traveling, you can just have surface level relationships and friendships that serve a purpose for a certain period of time,
Right.
and they're fine, and that's kind of like what you need at the time. And then there's people that are going to be in your life longer term, and you genuinely see them as friendships. So I think that's kind of opened my eyes to that, because I think I do care quite deeply for people, and I do kind of, I've always put a lot into my friendships and my relationships. And actually, I've realised that perhaps I don't need to do that with everyone that I meet.
Right.
So that's been good, just to have those surface level kind of connections that don't have to be life changing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think sometimes where there's been like more difficult times in things where I've thought maybe there was a friendship there and it hasn't worked out, I've also learned just to kind of like trust myself in that process. And maybe previously I would blame myself where things have gone wrong or haven't worked out in the way that I'd hoped. I'll just kind of realize that actually sometimes it's other people that are kind of not the problem, but there's just differences and people want different things, and that's fine.
Right. Sometimes you just don't fit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And maybe you did for a certain period of time and they served a certain purpose, but then it's fine to just let them move on from that. And like, it's good to keep looking forward as opposed to looking back, because it's so hard when you're traveling and moving around so much. You can connect with a really good group of people that you want to continue on with and spend longer with, but it just doesn't work out like that. And to know that that's fine, and it doesn't change the experience that you did have.
Right. Yeah, and you can't always stay in touch with everybody.
Yeah.
Just sad, but
Yeah.
true. You meet so many people. That's why I love Instagram, though. I feel like I used to hate social media and see like no positive side to it. I just thought it was so toxic. But I feel like since I've been traveling these last 8 months, I can see how positive it really can be, because it's a good way to kind of keep in touch with a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I've been able to reach out and connect with a friend from uni who I hadn't seen in like over 10 years, just through kind of like knowing that we're in Australia. And yeah, perhaps if I hadn't sort of like traveled, I wouldn't have reached out in the same way. But I think it does open you up to more kind of experiences of getting back in contact with people, or reaching out to people that are in the same city as you that you might not have seen for a while.
Right, yeah. I've seen so many people, even since coming to Australia, that I never would have known were in the same town as me if I wasn't for social media.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's huge. Do you have any beliefs that maybe, I don't know, about yourself, others, or just in general that you had before coming to Australia or before solo traveling that have changed since? I know it's kind of a big question.
Yeah. I think I have more belief in myself that I can do what I put my mind to. Like, I can figure it out and I can do what I want. I've got the flexibility and the freedom to be able to do that. And that is a huge privilege that I am not kind of like shying away from how lucky I am to be able to do what I'm doing. But yeah, I think if you'd have asked me whether I'd be doing this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like, I don't know if I could have got here, but I have.
Yeah.
And I think just that determination is a huge thing that I've been able to kind of like recognize in myself and beliefs in other people. Like, that there's a lot of people. I was a bit worried about traveling at 30
Yeah.
and not meeting many people my age, or, you know, people that have had similar circumstances or experiences to me. But actually I have. Like, you looking at a dog?
Right now, I'm a baby.
I can see you smiling. I thought a dog was swimming towards me.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if our road trip together,
Yeah.
if it had a theme song,
Oh God.
what would you pick?
I feel like you should write this down and see if we come up with the same one.
I already have mine in my head.
You have it in your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it was
You want to say it?
3, 2, 1.
Think I wasn't sure. But
No, yeah, definitely.
we've listened to some interesting music, but I feel like Kid Pony Club has to be the highlight with the windows down.
Yeah.
But
Which is so funny because I used to not like that song. One of my coworkers actually added it to the playlist we would play in our bar. I took it off. I was like, I can't listen to this
It's
one.
so weird. No way.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like, I think now because it's attached to your memory,
Yeah.
maybe because I started listening to the words too.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, oh, this is actually a really interesting story.
It's a good song. It's a great
It's
song.
a good song. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm remembering that we have ground beef in the car. So I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
Yeah, I love you. And I'm really grateful that our relationship has been a genuine friendship and not like you were talking about. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Well,
I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too. Okay.
Feels weird.
Bye, everybody. See you next time.